after service for you. Come on in. Take a seat. My name is Reverend Debbie McDonald, and I have some announcements for you this morning. But before I begin the announcements, I want to take just a moment to honor the practitioner that's holding the light for us this morning. Practitioner Rosedale Jones. And there she is. Our practitioners always keep the high watch for us during service. They hold the light, sitting in the back there in our chair, in front of our prayer request chest. There's a few ways you can receive prayers from practitioners here at Seaside, and I want you to know it is our honor to pray with you and for you. So you can write a written prayer request and put it in the chest over there where Rosedale is sitting. After both services and on Wednesday evening after service, you can receive a live prayer at the prayer chapel just outside the doors here. Just go over there and a practitioner will connect with you and go on into the chapel. And we're also available for private sessions. All of our phone numbers are inside Seaside, so know if you have something that you want to discuss at a lengthier time than just a quick prayer, please call us. It is our joy. So, as you can tell, looks like something's going on here today. We have the Harvest Festival. Woohoo! Our Seaside Harvest Festival. It is our gift to you. It is the culmination of our pledge program, our Gifts of the Heart program. And it is our way of saying thank you. Thank you for all that you do for Seaside throughout the year, every year, day in and day out. It is fun. It is free. It is here for you, so stay and take advantage. We have chili for everybody. We have a big slide for the kids. We have a balloon guy. We have musical chairs. We have car rides. We have the business club has got a beanbag throwing thing and all sorts of fun booths. We have our vendors in the family room, and they will be available to shop as soon as service is over. We ask that you don't do any shopping during service. And inside of your program, you'll find a bingo card. It's the bright orange card. It's your Harvest Festival card. And what that is for is to go around to all the booths and get your card stamped or signed. When you have a complete card, you can put it into the raffle bucket for some raffles. We have some fun raffle prizes today. So make sure it's filled out. Make sure you put your name and phone number on it in case you're not here so you can get the raffle prize. Also, since it is the completion of our pledge program, it is time to collect and total up all of the pledge cards that we received. If you have not had an opportunity to fill out your gift card yet, please fill it out and put it in the basket today. Dr. Christian and the staff have supplied pens for you if you don't have one. And you can just go ahead and fill that out, put it in the basket during the offering. You can always mail it in as well, but it is that time when we're totaling up numbers and we just like to get as many in as possible. So thank you in advance for that. As you know, our teens have been selling pies. If you ordered a pie for the holidays, they are here. They were here baking the pies on Friday. I was here setting up some stuff, and oh my goodness, those pies smelled so good. God bless one of our moms, Jennifer Laguerre, who's one of our practitioners, and Reverend Lori. They were in there up to their eyeballs in flour and apple and every other thing, but it sure smelled good. So they do have a few more for sale. So if you haven't pre-ordered, you can buy one. If you have pre-ordered, pick it up and take it home. It's here for you for the holidays. Also, our interfaith shelter is up, and the time for the sign-ups are now. Sunny Goodwin is here. Her ministry table will be out in the family room. Please help us to support the interfaith shelter. What we're looking for is hosts for overnight. So if you're available to do an overnight stay, please sign up for that. We also look for hosts to bring dinner in each evening to the guests. So please see Sunny. She has the sign-ups out there for all of that. We have a wide calendar of holiday events coming up. We have a remembrance service coming up next weekend. We have a compassionate care circle that started last week. There's 2 Wednesday evenings in December that will be going on as well. It's a place to come together and talk about any loss whatsoever and any kind of feelings that are up for you around that. It's absolutely no charge. It's 5 to 6 before our Wednesday night service. We also have a Thanksgiving event that we do here, and I know Dr. Tillinson's going to tell you a little bit more about that when she comes out, but we do have a Thanksgiving service with Dr. Tillinson, and then following that at 1 o'clock, we have a Thanksgiving dinner for everyone. So anybody, if you don't have a place to be for Thanksgiving dinner, come here to Seaside. If you have friends that don't have a place to be, please let them know that we are here and dinner is open for everyone. So we want everyone to come and have that. Also, we're doing 4 things for the holidays this year. We're not doing one giant campaign, but we are supporting Community Resource Center in 4 different ways. Well, 3 are Community Resource Center. We have blankets, so you have a bucket back in the back with the twinkly lights for blankets if you'd like to bring new or very gently used blankets, that we could take those. Books for the children. We're collecting children's books this year, so we're the big need for that. And also food. We're continuing to collect the food for the holiday gift baskets. And we also are doing a Toys for Tots box this year, so please bring toys, unwrapped toys for the children, and put that in there as well. So we have many ways for you to give this holiday season. And, our green ministry, did you all get your recycling bags today? There's Sandy in the back, not recycling bags, shopping bags. Our reusable shopping bags. If you didn't pick up your shopping bag, we have 1 per family, so we ask that you take 1 for a whole family. And Sandy will have them at her ministry table out in the Harvest Festival if you didn't get one when you walked in. So make sure to get one before you leave. There's a post bookmark in there with tips on both sides about recycling and ways to have a greener environment. So come and pick up one of those. Last but not least, education. We have 1 class left. Sharon Bagley, one of our practitioners, has an art is spiritual practice for the holidays. Sharon, here she is. She's going to come up and tell you about it. It's December 7th, not next Sunday, but the Sunday after.
Okay, so this class is going to be super fun. Classes are an awesome way to meet new friends. And so on December 7th from 1 to 4, 2 weeks from today, we're going to be making gift cards and we're going to be making gift tags and setting our intentions for an awesome holiday. So I will be bringing all kinds of things think scrapbooking. If you don't know what mixed media is, it's very similar to scrapbooking when you're talking about tags and cards. So we're going to be creating all kinds of stuff with ribbons and rhinestones and papers and cloths, and it's going to be a really, really easy art workshop. You don't have to be a Rembrandt for this one. You can just be good with a glue stick. So I hope to see all of you there. I've got a sign-up sheet. I'm the one selling the birdhouses in the corner. If you want to sign up, I've already got 15 people, and it's going to fill up because these classes are super fun and an easy way to build community and make new friends. So I hope to see you all there.
Yay, and fun for the holidays. That is our last class that's scheduled for our fall education catalog, and our winter educational catalog is looking amazing, and it'll be out mid-December, so be looking for that. And the very last, we have some elves that are going to come up and tell us about the holiday parade. Come on up.
Jaden, what are the bells for?
Oh, I'm just getting ready for the parade, the Christmas parade. We need as many people to hold bells and march as we can get.
When is it?
It is on December 5th. We will be finishing the big float. And on December 6th, we will be marching. And have a big pizza party. We invite all of you to come.
Sounds like fun. The more the merrier.
Everyone's invited to come be part of the holiday parade. We'd love to have Seaside have a giant gathering of people just walking down Coast Highway, so come be with us. I'm going to invite you one more time to come on in from the family room. The vendors are dark during service, so please come on in and join the service. And please stand and greet your neighbor and remain standing for the congregational song.
Good morning. Please remain standing for the congregational song. so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I'm happy, so happy. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm happy, so happy. I trust in God. I'm loving, so loving. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm loving, so loving. I trust in God. Why don't you play for him, Bob? Is playing the saxophone, yeah. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so thankful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so thankful. I trust in God.
All right. Woo, sounded good. Thank you, Rebecca, and good morning, Seaside. Woo, is this place alive this morning or what? It is happening. There is a celebration going on. Seaside is just continually manifesting wonderful, wonderful expressions. Not only are we finished up on the roof, which is a very exciting thing, our Gifts of the Heart program, we are wrapping up that. We have broken that trance of scarcity, and our pledge program is 2/3 of the way home. It is just a very exciting time to just say thank you to everybody. And today is about saying thank you to you. I mean, it was Meister Eckhart who said, if there's only one prayer, let it be one of thanksgiving. And that is truly what I feel to you and this spiritual community. Today is gratitude, thanksgiving, celebration for our continual success of the things we're able to do. We even got lights up here. I don't know if Hal's wandering around here, but he brought in new lights for us. And it's just, Seaside's on a fabulous track because of you, and also because we always put Spirit first. So to take us to a deeper level here this morning is a wonderful practitioner, a master practitioner, and that is Kay Samuelson. Okay?
So let us share a few moments in the stillness together. I feel the abundance moving effortlessly through me, knowing that there is one Spirit, one creative mind, and all of life comes out of this essence of Spirit. For I know that mind is consciousness, for consciousness is what I am. Consciousness is the divine givingness of the joy, the harmony, the peace, the compassion, the open heart of all humanity. It is that uplifting spirit that carries us further out into a new world, a new way of thinking, a new way of being. For I know that we live, move, and have our being in this universal wholeness the unity of all love. It surrounds us, it fills us, it heals us, it transforms our life. How grateful I am to feel the richness of this community as we come together and share our hearts, our love and devotion, knowing that as we share amongst each one of each other, that is the self-givingness of the Spirit within. And I give thanks for Dr. Reverend Christian, for he always touches our heart with his words of wisdom, moving our dreams forward and expanding our consciousness of who we are as the one life, the one love, the one mind and heart. For I know Dr. Reverend Christian is the wide open conduit, the channel for which the abundance and the opulence of Spirit flows through. So let us celebrate this day, and it is our giving and receiving and our relationship with one another and the Spirit within that we so gloriously share with such freedom. And so I just now open my heart and just allow Spirit to have its way, and so it is.
God is real. God is magnificent. God is light. God is love. I am real. I am magnificent. I am light. I am love. We are real. We are magnificent. We are light. We are love.
Thank you, Master Practitioner Kay Samuelson, and Rebecca Jade and Lynn Willard on the piano for beginning us in such a sacred way on this amazing Harvest Festival day. Good morning. I'm Reverend Christina Tillotson. It's my honor to welcome you, especially if you're new to Seaside. Thank you very much for sharing your light and your love with us today. You have picked a perfect day to come here. And we have a present for you out in the back, a packet with coupons and bookstore goodies and all that sort of things to show our appreciation for your sharing your light and your love with us today at Seaside Center for Spiritual Living. We're a spiritual community that totally supports each other. And we're also part of a worldwide organization called Centers for Spiritual Living in Golden, Colorado. And the vision is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence for a world that works for everyone. So if you're aligned with that, you're in absolutely the right place. So thank you so much for being here in this place where we teach the philosophy called the science of mind, which takes all of the ancient and modern wisdom of the scientists and the enlightened ones and the philosophers and the psychologists and the leaders and puts them together in a philosophy that not only enhances our own lives, but transforms the world in a spiritual way. So you are in the right place. Thank you so much for being here. And as Reverend Debbie said, today's Thanksgiving week, and I have the honor of leading the Thanksgiving Day service at noon on Thanksgiving Day, so please come. It's a unique service. I won't be doing a lot of talking. There'll be a lot of interaction with all of you. So please come and bring your friends. And then at 1 o'clock, we have our 12th annual Thanksgiving Day dinner for the community. So please bring your families, your friends. If you know anyone who needs a place to go and doesn't have somewhere to go, especially bring them. And if you can bring something to share, to eat, please bring a little extra so that those who can't can have a Thanksgiving feast too. There are sign-up sheets back on the holiday table
for our Harvest Festival. So please be part of that. And before that, on Thanksgiving Eve at the San Diego United Methodist Church at 7 o'clock on Wednesday, if you don't come here to the Thanksgiving Eve service, please come over there, because that's the Interfaith Thanksgiving Eve service. That's run by the Interfaith Ministerial Association that Dr. Christian and I have both been presidents of at one time or another. And so Seaside is really involved in that organization, so it'd be great if you came and supported that too. So again, thank you for being here. And in honor of Thanksgiving, the reading I've chosen is by Howard Thurman. Howard Thurman was the chaplain at Boston College. He comes out of the Christian tradition, and we love him in New Thought. We love his writings and his talks. He talks about Thanksgiving. Today I make my sacrament of thanksgiving. I begin with the simple things of my days: fresh air to breathe, cool water to drink, the taste of food, the protection of houses and clothes, the comforts of home. For all of these, I make an act of thanksgiving this day. I bring to mind all the warmth of humankind that I have known: my mother's arms, the strength of my father, the playmates of my childhood, the wonderful stories brought to me from the lives of many who talked of days gone by when fairies and giants and all kinds of magic held sway. The tears I have shed, the tears I have seen, the excitement of laughter and the twinkle in the eye with its reminder that life is good. For all of these, I make an act of thanksgiving this day. I pass before me the mainsprings of my heritage, the fruits of the labors of countless generations who lived before me, without whom my own life would have no meaning. The seers who saw visions and dreamed dreams, the prophets who sensed a truth greater than the mind could grasp, and whose words could only find fulfillment in the years which they would never see. The workers whose sweat has watered the trees, the leaves of which are the healing of the nations. The pilgrims who set their sails for lands beyond all horizons, whose coverage made paths into new worlds and far-off places. The enlightened ones whose blood was shed with a recklessness that only a dream could inspire and God could command. For all of these, I make an act of thanksgiving this day. Let's take these ideas into prayer. Going to that place where I know there is only that light, that love, that abundance, that wisdom of spirit through and as all of its creation. There is no place where that light and that love and that abundance of wisdom is not from the tiniest atom to the farthest galaxies. It is all that expression of God through and as all of its creation. And it doesn't matter what that energy is called. I call it God. And it is through the tiniest atom, the farthest galaxy, all worlds, known and unknown. It is all God. And that is who I am right here and right now. And each one here is a perfect expression, a manifestation of that light and that love and that wisdom and that abundance of spirit, sitting right here and right now in this sacred place of Seaside Center for Spiritual Living. And so I'm knowing for this sacred time together that the trance of scarcity is broken as that abundance of that light and that love and that gratitude of spirit flows through this very place, through this very congregation, through this very room. Not only enhancing each life, but spreading out into this community, into this country, and into this world, into this galaxy, into this universe, into universes beyond, absolutely allowing that light and that love of spirit to flow forth from here in deep, 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 deep gratitude. So I gratefully accept this light, this love, this abundance, this gratitude welling up from this place out into the world as the truth of this sacred time together right here and right now. As I release this word to the law, absolutely knowing that it is now done in perfect abundance and total gratitude and wisdom and love. And so it is. Amen.
Good morning. morning, Seaside. It is my honor to introduce our guest artists, plural, for today, for it is the Seaside Choir. Gonna be, yeah. Seaside Choir is now under the direction of Miss Leslie Green, who also happens to be my mother. And they have a couple songs for you today, and they'll start with one right now for you. So once again, give it up for the Seaside Choir, accompanied by the Seaside Band.
Our one great family, one people, una familia. We are one great family, one people, una familia. We are one and the same, though we have different names. Una familia. We are two apart, but we are one in the heart. Una familia. One great family, one people, una familia. We are one great family, one people, una familia. We are terrible, we are standing tall, una familia. We are united as one and we have only begun, una familia. One Lord, we sing with one Lord in harmony. One Lord, we sing with one Lord in harmony. One family we are, one family sin, one familia. One family we are, one family sin. Familia. We are one and the same, though we have different names. Una familia. We live in our heart, but we are one in the heart. Una familia. One great family, our one great family. Una familia. Una familia.
That is your Seaside Choir. You guys are fabulous. Under the direction of Mama J. And that was Lynn Willard accompanying you there. And you guys are fabulous. The energy is high. One family. Woo! That was a great song. My goodness, good picking. I like that. I like it. One family. We are so diverse in our expression here at Seaside, and all are welcome to our wonderful community, no matter who you are, where you may be on your path. Know that we are celebrating you, and today is about that celebration of just the good that is going on at Seaside. And even though you were told you can't shop during the service, I mean, it's kind of contrary to who we are, but I appreciate that. So. But there's a lot of excitement that is waiting for us outside. There's booze, there's slides, there's maple fudge, there's all sorts of goodies. Today it's a culmination, it's a celebration. It is grateful for the abundance. That's what we're celebrating here, is that we are living in this realm of infinite good that is forever seeking to express itself as your life. At least that's what Ernest Holmes tells us. Goodbye trance. I'm done with that. And so to allow your gifts of the heart to come through you, you've just got to be willing to be that place where you're receiving the gifts of God and become that vortex and that expression of spirit. It was interesting as I was thinking about this morning's message, I remembered one of my elementary school teachers. Her name was Miss Molly Rubin. And it was a day in which she was teaching us math, and she cracked open that math book, and she said, today I'm going to teach you about negative numbers. And I was like, and she said, so to get going, you've got 0, and to the right of 0 are the positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the left of them, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, -1, -3. And as much as I was in love with this teacher of mine and her treasure trove of glue and glitter and paints and crepe paper, I just said, excuse me, how can you count what's not there? And she just never quite got my perspective of it here. Maybe it was an inkling of where I was to go. She explained in some mathematical equations how she was right and I wasn't. And what I got later on in life is that's what people do, is they're counting what they don't have. They count their losses in life. They count what they don't have. They count loss of a relationship, or loss of a house, or loss of a pet, or loss of a grandmother, or loss of their money, or the loss of their shirt, or a loss of a whole list of dreams that they had as the kids. And they're looking at what it is that they lost rather than what it is that they want to create in their life and in their world. And when you begin to look at the losses, you can't help but to feel your insides turning in the stress, like, look what I don't have anymore. And as we know, where you look upon, where your energy goes, or where your thoughts go, or your attention goes, energy flows and results show in your life. And if you're looking at what you've lost, you're going to keep perpetuating not having. If you want to break that trance and say, hello, abundance. Yes. Start looking at what is positive. Otherwise, little things are going to get you. Your partner shows up late for dinner, had to work 15 minutes late or something, and you're like, and your whole evening's ruined. Like, give me a break. You're going to really ruin an evening over 15 minutes late at work? But people do that. Somebody irks you, and it's like, that's the end of the relationship. I'm not talking to you anymore. You really messed me up. Oh, yeah, why? Well, I didn't call. It's like we're going to lose a relationship over that. But what, the research shows us is that kind of stress and that kind of energy takes its toll inside of our being. It begins to take away our life. I mean, it'll kill you. When you get on the freeway and get caught in traffic and you stress out, are you really willing to die over it? You got to break that trance of your position, this stress stuff. Are you doing this stress thing? You got a holiday party coming and you just stress everybody out in your household so it can be nice and lovely for your guests. It's like, how fair is that to do to your kids or your mate? This season is about joy. It's like, hello, this is going to be a blessed day. You are not put on this world to stress out. The will of God is not for you to suffer and then get sick and die. Die sick even. You were born to have life, and you were born to have it abundantly. That is the will of God, or that's the will of life. That you were born to have life and to have it more abundantly. And to every last breath that you are here on this world, you've got to know that you have it abundantly. It's not about preparing for afterlife. It's about preparing for the life here and now, where I'm at. If you want the abundance here, I mean, you might have golden roads and all that stuff afterwards, but you know what? This is where I'm at now. This is where I want my kingdom of heaven. And I'm going to live in gratitude because you know what? If I'm paying attention, I'm going to notice God showing up here. I'm going to notice the blessings of life over here. But what happens is I'm caught in my trance. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing called life. I'm being responsible. It's my duty to create, and I'm just staying focused. And I'm missing out on so much to be grateful for, which is why we're blessed in a nation that at least sets away one day a year and says, stop, be grateful. Take a look at your path, your life, your world. Be mindful of your body, of your breath. The guys on the corner here begging for food, at least they're begging for food here and they're not like in India or something. Man, that's rough over there. I read the story just recently of a Navy fighter pilot, and this was during Vietnam, and he was doing his missions doing war somewhere over Vietnam, and he was shot down, and his plane was going down. It was beyond being saved, and so he ejected. That like long period of time between when you pull the chute and it opens, and he's in there. But it did open, and he did land safely on the ground. The challenge was it was in enemy territory, and he was captured. And he was a POW for 5 years until the end of the war when they freed all the prisoners. And he never thought about his parachute again. What was interesting, as he went on to do life, one day he was in a hotel lobby, and he struck up a conversation with a guy, and it just so happened this guy served on the same ship that he was on during the same time. They figured they were on the same missions together, and that this guy was a parachute packer. And it's like, wow, they started thinking, and they went their separate ways. And as the fighter pilot was beginning to think, he realized, you know what? I'll bet this guy is the one who packed my parachute that saved my life. I never thought about that again. And it was in that moment he decided that he was going to just become aware of all of his parachute packers, whether they are military or civilian. All those people that have packed his chute, that have given their best, that he has not even noticed, that he has never paid attention to. All those people that have been there in his life, that have given him the blessings, that have supported him. And it just couldn't help but make me think, in my life, how many people are around me that support me that I haven't even stopped to say thank you to? How many people are in your world that are packing your chute, that have got your back, that love you, that are doing a great job, that you don't even really stop to notice because they're just doing it so well, so selflessly? Well, it's in this season of gratitude that I'm telling you, I want you to stop and notice who's packing your chute. At least take a week and just notice everybody around you who is loving you and supporting you and blessing you. And just take that time to make those calls, to drop an email, to send a letter and say, hey, I love you. I appreciate you. And by the way, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you, for blessing my world and my life, because you're truly a gift. And what's important is to notice all the God that's showing up in your life. And just as you begin to do that, you realize there may have been some challenges with individuals along the way. But forgive. This is a nice season of gratitude where you get to do nice things and they're acceptable. So try some forgiveness. It just may go over big this week, and that includes yourself. But the thing about forgiveness, it's not just like a one act and you're done. Oh, good, I'm done. We're forgiven. It's good. Forgiveness is an ongoing practice. It's something you've got to do. You've got to break away from holding on to any of the resentment, any of the blame, because as long as you're holding on to blame, you're a prisoner, just like that POW. You want to break that trance? What you got to do is take responsibility. And once you let go of blame, you're now free to create in your life. But if you stay there in the mud slinging and in the dirt throwing, what I've realized is the one who's throwing the dirt gets the dirtiest in this whole game here. And so never attribute to malice. This is what somebody told me. Never attribute to malice what you can explain with stupidity. It's not malice. It wasn't intent. They're just stupid. They didn't know what they were doing. And leave it at that. Let it be okay. Just attribute it up to being a bonehead maneuver on their own. And get back in there. Get back on the dance floor in life, if you would. You want to experience the good, the abundance, the joy, you got to get out there. But people get out there and they're worried about their feet. Am I stepping in the right spot here? How can you have a good time if you're worried about your dance steps? Just dance, for heaven's sakes. Get out there and stop thinking, should I or shouldn't I? Because the night will be gone or the day will be gone and you will have missed the dance and you'll be sitting there with regret. Life is not about sitting there with regret when you can be conscious, you can be mindful and choose, I'm breaking out of this trance. I'm going to experience the abundant joy and the presence of God and those who want to dance with me in life. You don't want to be, thinking about regret. You'd rather be chasing your dreams, whether you're getting them or not. It is more fun to chase your dreams than to be pursued by regret in your life. There's Byron Katie who said, suffering over what has happened is like arguing with your past. Suffering over what has happened is like you're arguing with your past. It's argument with the past. It's not going to change anything. It'll stir you up. It'll give you that stress. It'll knock those years off your life or days off your life. You got to get back in there. And stop worrying. Stop second guessing. Be present. If you're thinking, what are they thinking? What am I thinking? You're in that sense of stressing yourself out. Life is fun. We have made life a battlefield, and it's meant to be a playground for us. Stop creating a battlefield and a fight out there and realize I'm breaking free of this trance and thinking it's a struggle and it's hard. I'm going to open up to this abundant good that is expanding as my very life right here, right now. And I'm going to be more acceptable. I got to tell you, one of the things that work in my relationship with Callie, and we've been married for more than a couple decades, which is small compared to a lot of people within this community. And I'll tell you one of my secrets is total acceptance. You don't have to be right. It goes really well. I totally accept you, and I'm not right here. And it works wonders in life. But it not only works in my relationship with Callie, but it also works with my son Trevor really well too. He likes being right, But it also works with my brother too. And what I've noticed also works well at work is to be totally acceptable, to open your heart, to be understanding, to not hold blame, and to realize that there are going to be some bumps along the way in our life. Not to take it personally. Someone once told me, sometimes you're the pigeon and sometimes you're the statue. Yeah. And you just got to wipe it off and get moving with life. Get moving and get grooving and just, I got to make the adjustment inside. Someone else once told me that, there's no bad weather out there, just inappropriate clothing, That clothing is consciousness that I'm talking about here. It is a deep knowing that allows you to shift. Yeah, Christian, I can shift my thinking and I can be happy and all that stuff. But you know what? There's like this biological stuff that, that genetic stuff, that is like the extreme end. This airy-fairy stuff can work with simple things, but when I get down to heredity, man, it's in my DNA. Well, I want you to be aware of the research that is that is going out there, the epigenetics, that is showing how we are able to change our genetic structure through consciousness. It is the neuroplasticity of our brain that is able to redirect, repattern, and remap those neurotransmitters that allow us to turn off those mutant cells, if you would, that are carrying the genetic code that we no longer want in our life and keep active and alive those positive, life-empowering ones that will source you to bring forth the gifts of your heart, your dharma, your passion. That's something that is inside of you. Now, I recognize there's about 70 to 100 trillion cells in this bag of skin of mine, which is more than there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy. And I'm not saying you got to sit down with each one of those cells and tell it how to behave here. What I'm talking about is the totality of your consciousness. Ernest Holmes talks about the sum total of your subjective. Am I living in gratitude? Am I seeing the presence of God? Am I being mindful? Am I taking the time to walk in alignment with that divine presence and to feel it and to sense it and to move with it? Carolyn Mace, she talks about the bio-soul, the mystical intelligence that is the dance, if you would, between your biology and your spirit, your soul, the bio-soul. It is, she says that your biography really does determine your biology. Your biography. It's that sum total. It's your thinking. It's your thoughts. Are you stressing out? Or you realize that you're far greater than any of that? You're a creative expression of the divine. Francis Ford Coppola, he was talking about creativity. And next year in 2015 here at Seaside, the whole year we're dedicating to being creative expressions of spirit, whether it's our creative thought or creativity and love. But something Francis Ford Coppola said is that an artist never really knows whether their work is going to be any good or not. But you got to trust that creative instinct in your soul and in your spirit to bring it forth. That's what is yours to do. He said, you know what? After writing the intro to the movie Patton, he got fired for writing that one. It was just so bad, the director or producer thought. But the truth is, Patton went on to win Best Picture of the Year, and that is considered one of the greatest openings of all times of films. You got to continue to believe in what it is. He said when he did Apocalypse Now, the flack that he got for it being so different, so edgy, that it was just disturbing out there in the world. He says if you're going to be different, you've got to realize you're going to be rubbing people the wrong way. You're going to be going against the grain. You're going to make some people uncomfortable. That is just what is part of being a creative genius, which you are, being that vortex through which that presence of God comes. And so what I got to do is get out of that trance that keeps me stuck and concerned about what are the people going to think. What are those small things that are keeping you in prison? Are you living in mediocrity because of these little small thoughts that are keeping you back? And so I can't be grateful because my world's not really working. I can do these things, but there's something inside of you that knows you're greater than what is holding you back. And tell you what you already know. You're better than that. But you are the one who has to activate that. You are the one who has to be that activity for the emergence of the divine presence to come forth in your life in a way in which it hasn't expressed before. Ernest Holmes talks about that God is a power and a presence in the universe. And that is what is seeking to emerge through you. It is this emergent expression that will take you to a place you don't have any idea about now. See, you want to create this blueprint for the future. I've got the map on how to get there. But the truth is, there's a place there that you know not of. And it is only by being present and grateful for how Spirit is showing up in your life now that it's going to get you there. Even if it is showing up in ways that look like bumps in the road. You got to be grateful. It's not about holding regrets for what was. You can't be suffering from the past. Even if it was horrific, it got you to here. Bless your spiritual path. Bless your family. Be grateful for that partner that is no longer a partner in your life. Be grateful for whatever brought you to this moment, because you're sitting in a glorious spiritual community called Seaside with 400 people today that are absolutely in love with you, that think you are a gift to humanity. Whatever path got you here is good, and just take it all in. There is a saying that something about you can have your cake and eat it too. That's what masterful manifestors believe, is that you can have your cake and eat it too. It's those that are just like in the middle who aren't quite there yet. They're not quite sure. They think, well, maybe I can have my cake, but it's very rich, so I can only eat a little bit of it. And then you got strugglers who just don't even think they're worthy of a cake, that they have a donut, and all they do is look at the hole in the donut and complain there's nothing there. What is the purpose of having cake if you're not going to eat it? You're going to set it on your mantle and say, boy, that is a good-looking cake. You are here to experience the gifts of God. You are here to be grateful and to look around. Hey, this person's been packing my chute. Whoa, look at God's been here in my life blessing me. Whoa, look at this relationship. I didn't even realize what a blessing it was going to be. She was my, third grade teacher, Ms. Molly Rubin, who got me all whatever, But it is serving me here today so many years later. Who knows who is packing your chute and is a blessing? Why am I going to stress out if I don't get it right now? I got to live with a sense of trust. And where I stand inside of myself is where and how I stand in my life. That's how it works. It is the Spirit of God that expresses and shows up. This week was my Uncle Kenny's 100th birthday. And it was a big party at his place. I'm here instead. But I was back around his 90th birthday. And I can remember going there with my dad. He lives in Wisconsin. He lives in the same house that he bought after World War II. He may have bought it before the war. I don't know. A 2-story house, bedrooms upstairs with a basement below those 2 stories with all his train tracks that he goes down and plays with every day. I went back for his 90th birthday with my dad, and he had just bought himself, at the age of 90, a brand new car. A purple PT Cruiser Turbo. And I still can remember my dad saying, Kenny, what are you thinking? You're going to live to 100 or something? What are you doing buying yourself a car? He still has his license and he drives today. Matter of fact, this week he just bought himself a refrigerator. What are you doing buying an appliance when you're 100 years old? You know? But that is who he is inside. He is just in love and life. I'm looking for him on Good Morning America that when they show 100-year-olds before too long. But you know, it just lives in gratitude and grace and just a wonder. You know, you got people around you that are giving to you that you know not of. It's up to you to see that. I can remember 10 years old when I was 10. My brother and I, we grew up with some other, there were 5 boys. There were like 5 brothers, the family and the clans. We grew up together. We were all there when we were born. And the D Harts, they lived on one corner of our block, and I lived on the other. And you know, when one goes away on vacation, you know, the boy goes down, they water the lawn, feed the dog, and we're gone, they come down. And so, and at 10, it's not strange. You know, your 10-year-old boy runs down the street and takes care of somebody's house. That's the way it was back then. And so the D Harts were off down in Baja on a fishing trip or something. I went down to the house, and I shared the story in class the other night, which is why it's fresh in my mind. I went down to their house, and the water was on the front yard. It was very strange. And a tree that they had wanted to get rid of had fallen. And I walked up to the house, and the door was open. And the bed in the bedroom had some wrinkles in it. And there was something in that house that was so alive, that was not of this world, that made the little 10-year-old's hair stand up on the back of his head, that he ran home so fast to get his dad. I can't even tell you how fast I can't go back there. There's something in there. And he said, your Uncle Doug, he just died this morning on the fishing boat. And I was like, whoa, I'm definitely not going back there now. And then also, just a couple weeks before he died, a young girl, she was a high school girl, Sally Ostrup, lived across the street. She died of leukemia. And I can remember at the age of 10, just the profound pain and sadness. And that when I opened my eyes after the pain and the sadness, the world was different. The world is different when you open your eyes after deep pain and sadness. And I don't know, if I was 10, that's kind of weird. Maybe that's what got me on my spiritual path. So I don't know. I definitely walked to the drum of a different beat, for sure, than other 10-year-olds. But you know, there's things that go on in our life in a moment that you may not know their value. But years later, in retrospect, you say, wow, it's like my chute got packed. I was blessed. God was there, and I didn't even notice it at the time. The presence of God continues to show up in our life, but it's imperative that we continue to recognize it. Like forgiveness, you just don't do it once and then you're good forever and ever. You know, recognizing Spirit once doesn't mean you're good forever and ever. You know, in Ephesians 5th chapter, it's verse 18, it says, be ever filled with Spirit. Got that? Ever filled. It means it's ever filling. It's constantly being filled. It's not like when you buy your car, you fill it up with gas once, you never have to go back to the gas station, right? That's not how it works. You've got to keep it filled. Someone once said to Zig Ziglar, how come after I go to a motivational seminar, you know, it only lasts for a little while? He says, well, you don't think bathing lasts forever. You know, you take a bath once and you're good for life. Be ever filled with Spirit. Then goes on to say you do this by through hymns and psalms and joyous singing of a grateful heart. By joyous singing of a grateful heart, this is how I continue to fill myself with Spirit, how I continue to stay focused upon the divine, how I continue to remember that it is God's good pleasure to give me the kingdom, but it must be mine to accept it. I must be available because the gifts of God were showing up when I was 10. They're showing up in my life today as I'm looking out here. They're all around. If you're willing to stop long enough and just be grateful that God is present in my life, you will begin to see all the places it's touching down in the season of Thanksgiving. It's time to celebrate for the abundant, expanding good of life that is personalizing its touch as you. But you gotta be that place in which it moves through you, as you. No, there's a fun story that always stuck with me. Maybe because it had to do with 2 brothers. I don't know. You probably heard it, but still okay. And it's about, one brother did good, the other brother didn't quite do as good. The one brother who did good did really good. And he came back for the holidays, and he brought a present for his little brother. He brought his little brother this beautiful, brand new, shining sports car. Said, "Hey, little bro, this is for you. Here are the keys. I love you." And he was so excited. He went out and he drove through the neighborhood. He stopped on a corner, and this little guy was looking at his beautiful, beautiful sports car and just said, "That's wonderful." The guy said, "Yeah, my brother gave that to me." And the little kid said, "Wow, I wish," and the guy said, "Yeah, I know. You wish you had a brother like mine." He said, "No, I would wish I could be a brother like that." Imagine if we all had that desire to be that vortex in which we were able to give and that kind of expanding those gifts of our heart, of our soul, and our spirit. But I'll tell you where they come from. They come from waking up every day in gratitude. I go to bed saying, thank you, God, and I don't even know what I'm thankful for, but that's what I'm saying. And I wake up in the morning going, wow, I'm grateful. And I don't know what I'm grateful for, but I'm looking for it. See, that's where my eyes are focused. And what is, I don't wake up with anticipation, with the stress of what's coming. I'll deal with what shows up in my life. And I'm not held hostage to the history of my past, of the stress and not making it to the dance floor or what blunders I've made. I think the history is just not part of my morning. I'm excited about this new day. Because I'll tell you what, life is just magical. I mean, I'm standing here with you. I want you to look around. This is your spiritual community. Look at the people in here. These are the ones that have been giving and have loving and have been supporting Seaside for years and years and years. This is what our community looks like. Today we are celebrating us. We're celebrating what it is we are able to accomplish together. We are celebrating the love. We are celebrating the community. We are celebrating the heart. We are celebrating that we create a vortex, a light here in the North County that makes a difference in the North County of San Diego, that makes a difference within our state, that is making a difference upon this planet because there is a consciousness that is moving forth that's been activated from the hearts of our being that is touching those that are in a place that are world leaders. And what I know is the answer to any challenges of our world today have not been revealed, but as we allow the emergent expression of God to be activated as our very life, that blueprint of what is possible leaps to a whole new level of understanding. It is true on a national level, it's true on our individual levels, and it happens because we are choosing to take time to be mindful of the presence of God that is in our life by saying, I am grateful. God bless you, because I am grateful to you. I love you. Hey, let's keep it going as we bring back to the stage the wonderful Seaside Choir under the direction of Mama J.
Thank you. Thank you, Beck. And thank you. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. And I'm so proud of this choir. Every single member, they've worked very hard, and we are open for more additions. So if you are interested, certainly join us. So we are very thankful. And it is all about we are one. We are one together in love. And we're also very thankful for the musicians, thankful for Lynn Willard, who's been rehearsing with us and being here with us. It's just been, yes, give Lynn a hand. He's been amazing.
We are one.
And that is the Seaside Choir, under the direction of Mama J and accompanied by Lynn Willard. Nice job, everyone. Fabulous. Hey, this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to unite together in our givingness. And but before you give, I just want to also point out that inside your Sunday program is that annual pledge card. And last week was our big Ask Sunday, so that's where all the hoopla was. And we did very well. As I shared, we've got 2/3 of the way there. We're within a couple $100,000 in pledges. Or intentions of support for Seaside in 2015. And I'm sure that if we had 100% participation, we would reach that goal. And we put together our budget in the upcoming year based upon pledges, not that God will provide, and we know God will provide, but based upon, this is what the community is thinking at this point. We can always grow or we can contract or whatever is the pulse, but we like to do it based upon, hey, what's this family's involvement? What was pointed out to me last week when the card was in there, I neglected to give you a pen to fill it out with. So I'm taking this time so you can take your pen, you can fill that out if you haven't. We're getting close. So you do that, that'd be fabulous. Put it in the basket as it comes by, because this is the time where we pause every time and say, hey, this is the time we come together as a community and support what's going on, the activity of our family. It is the time in which we get to listen to our heart and see how has Spirit touched my life? How have I been blessed? Where have I noticed those shoot packers in my world? Where have I noticed God showing up? Today is about celebrating. How can I be that place so I can be that flow? I can be a brother like that that's able to give how the heart wants to give. Not listening to the mind, because the mind will tell you how it's not possible. The heart will tell you how all things are possible. So listen to that. You look around. This is your community. This is your family. This is where your good is going and supporting. We have a magic going on here. I don't know if magic's the right word, but I like it. But it is, it's just something really good. I mean, we've got children that are learning. We've got classes, healing going on. And it's supported by this moment every week. So I invite you to listen to your heart. I want to invite our ushers to come forward at this time as we do take our gift from our heart. Fill out those pledge cards if you haven't. I want to say thank you to this group. Thank you to those that mail in your contributions when you can't be here on a Sunday. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to those that didn't mail in your intentions. And just those that remember us with the auto tithe. Those that are in our community. You know what? I just see the sign hanging. I seldom break in the middle as we're building consciousness here. But I want you to just notice a huge giver. Sitting in the back is Tim Griffin with a note up there that today marks the 500th straight week in which we have broadcast our Sunday services. Wow. 500 straight weeks. That's almost 10 straight years, Tim. That is incredible. Thank you for this vision, seeing it through, creating the equipment, and just sharing this to the world. We make a difference. And all I was wanting to do is say thank you to those at home viewing this and your support. We appreciate it. I share this prayer of gratitude. Today is about Thanksgiving with the most generous of spiritual communities, knowing that this truly is a blessed moment where the fullness of the divine unfolds its expression right here, right now, in ever-expanding kinds of ways. For today is about that grace of God. Today is about being a brother like that. Today is a place in which I step away from my mental concerns and the stress and allow myself to just absolutely trust in my heart, my soul, and be that presence where God has its way in this moment, where the divine touches down, where heaven comes to earth, where I become activated, I become available to that greater emergence of the ever-expanding good. I've come that you might have life and that you might have it abundantly. That is the truth of who you are. And I am grateful to be in your presence, for together we have created this wonderful expression where healing is going on, where love is going on, where people can come in times of pain and times of joy, where our children are blessed, where we give those spiritual tools, where we're able to bring a new thought to the headlines and know that truly that spirit is emerging, that tomorrow is coming forth from a place we know not of, other than I have a faith in the presence of God, where all things are possible. And it's in this moment that I say yes to the stirring of my heart and my soul, that I become a prospering expression and vortex of the abundant good that pours out into life. I say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for using me in this moment and always using me and always being there, whether I am 10 or whether I am here today. That presence of God is ever available, touching, offering its gifts and glory. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Not to anyone. It's just this sense of grace and gratitude. There's no one to thank. It's just living in that state of appreciation for that which we are surrounded by. A blessed, blessed world. So it is. And together, let us say our affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. And as I stand in this high energy, this excitement, this music, this sound, this glory of God, truly the blessings of the Spirit continues to move right through this very place, through each and every one of us, for we are a blessed channel through which the fullness of God has access into form here. And what I know, each and every one of us becomes that willing wellspring of God's emergence, knowing that together this collective gift continues to carry Seaside forward through time while doing the mission and charge for which we have been charged to do. Grateful to answer that call. I know that these gifts come in love, they're received in good stewardship, and they are handled with responsibility and set forth back into action so they can continue to bring joy and blessings to all those they come in contact. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for this opportunity to be part of that wonderful, expanding, abundant flow, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. This is Helen Lipka, 3-year member of your board of trustees. Thank you. Guys, way to tear it up. That is Bob on the saxophone. That is Tommy on the bass. That is Pat on the drums. And that is Lynn Willard on the Burzendorfer. Hey, Lynn, you playing somewhere tonight? Where are you playing?
Joe Garrison's new project is called The Book of Gratitude. And we're playing at the 98 Bottles downtown tonight on Kettner Street, which is right off of Laurel. As you're headed to the airport, you turn left on Kettner. Takes you right down 2 blocks on the right side, 98 Bottles. We play at 6 o'clock tonight, and we play December 2nd at the Loft at UCSD with the Night People, and that's a free concert at the Loft. That's at the Price Center at UCSD campus in the Memorial Union upstairs, 2nd floor.
There you go, we got it. And we're so grateful you're here on Sunday mornings. Yeah, Mama Jay, your kids, they were fabulous. That Seaside Choir were absolutely wonderful. Way to do it. You're singing again at the candlelight service on the 23rd, right? So if you want to hear them again, big party going on. Rebecca, bless you for the music, your spirit, your soul you bring us. It is just a wonderful gift. And you're always playing around town somewhere, right? So if they want to find out, they can talk to you. Where are you playing? Since I did with one.
I have a website that usually posts my calendar, which is RebeccaJadeMusic.com.
All right, that's good.
Keeps you
Up to date, always out there, so good. Thank you, Dr. Christina. Always a joy to share Sunday with you. And I know Thursday, the community Thanksgiving meal here at Seaside is just fabulous, and you will be a wonderful transparency for God's message to be delivered that day. So lunch here, Thanksgiving Day. Matthew, thank you so much for the sound. Appreciate you. Marv, thank you. Appreciate you. It is just, know that their CD is available right after the service. Tim, I already thanked you. You know what? I see a bunch of guys walking around with hats and aprons, so I got to tell you who they are. We are having chili cook-off. As soon as I'm done talking, we get to eat some of that. But the past winners were a couple of the judges. They had to take them out of the competition because they were kind of hogging it all. And that's Dennis Mills and David Leon. Those are two of the judges. And Hal Douglas and Tommy Cox from the Men's Breakfast Club were also the judges. And the winners, there's also runners-up, but to make it kind of quicker because we want to eat it, I'm going to share with you, I'm not in this again. It's like 20 years, and I changed my category this year. Man. First place under specialty, Mike Florio, our greeter on Sunday mornings. Good job. First place under original is Eileen Pearson, Steve Dahl. Congratulations. First place under spicy, Jay Berman, our in-house real kind of chef. Okay, real quickly, Saturday night, December 6th, downtown parade. Seaside has a float. I want everybody to walk along that float with us. It is just a lot of fun, shaking hands. It doesn't matter if you've ever walked in a parade before. It's just a fun. It is blast. Bring any little ones you know. I just want all of us walking next to our float, strutting down to PCH, just like we own the place. So plan to join us for that. And we also got some holiday activities going around the Community Resource Center. They're looking for blankets again this time of year. They're looking books for kids. We have contributed over 7,000 pounds of food to that pantry and kitchen this year. My heart of gratitude goes out to all of you for bringing in food. We're going to continue to do that. There's also a box back there of Toys for Tots. We're just finding all sorts of ways to reach out. But what I want to do right now is pray. Healing has been the thrust of our movement. It's just, it's exciting to feel that spirit. So I want to invite any of our religious science practitioners that are present to please stand and allow all of us to feel that upliftment of that divine love. For truly the blessings of God's grace moves in this moment. I feel it. I breathe into it. I sense it. And I speak from this revelation, from this light. My eyes have been opened. And I see as God sees the truth of this unfoldment known as the Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, that it is a growing, thriving, prospering, expanding, abundant spiritual community based on love and laughter and joy and caring and compassion. And healing goes on here. Every prayer brought forth in our prayer request chest is blessed. Anything that comes in online, whether someone's in the hospital or not, whether they're just reaching out from their heart and their soul, the Spirit is there. For that life of God is omnipresent. It is a power in the presence in the universe, is what Ernest says. And that is a power and presence that makes a profound change and difference within our individual lives. And so as I let go of my trance to the scarcity or the lack and limitations or my story or the suffering of the past or any of those stressful kind of things, I open up to that wonderful, glorious flow of the divine. And I find a richness. I find a fulfillment. I find a satisfaction. I find a success. I find living in sync, awakening in the morning with the joy and excitement, with a heart filled with gratitude for a new day. There is no residue. There is no memory from the past. There's a new expression of life that is calling each of us to a new level, that it allows you to quantumly land in a new place that brings with this arena and this field new answers, new insights, new blueprints for the wholeness of your life's expression and purpose. There's a shift going on. There's nothing from the past, including your DNA, that can hold you back. So in this moment, what I stand knowing is the omnipresent expression of God. That is the truth for each of us. And that our level of awareness continues to rise in a revelation of a greater expression. That we have been activated to be receptive and available beyond the story for which we have held. Willing to be courageous in the creativity. I say thank you. Thank you for the newness and the good, the blessings and the grace. And I let go because it's not my doing. I just surrender. It's not my will, but thy will. And then remember, thy will isn't about suffering, sickness, and die, but it's about have come for good and an abundance of that good is the truth of that will, of that impulsion, of that emergence, of that expression that brings with it the healing of the body, the mind, and the soul. I'm just grateful for this knowingness. I'm thankful that the words that I've shared are the truth. I sit here today in this celebratory mood, in the sense of celebration, looking at the blessings of this community and the booths and the ministries and the love and the caring and the friendships and the family that we are. And what a difference it makes. Thank you. And I let go. I surrender with an unshakable faith and conviction, and that divine right action is the truth of who I am. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. What you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. And no more struggle, no more fight. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. And I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. Yeah, my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. And no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Seaside, sing it out loud. Come on. And I let go. I let the Spirit run my life.
My heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Said no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yeah.
And our affirmation for the week is, I gratefully celebrate my abundance. Together, I greatly celebrate my abundance. Touch your heart and say that. I greatly celebrate my abundance. One more time like you mean it. Come on. I gratefully celebrate my abundance. And our song of grace.
I'm living this world I walk, God's grace shines on me, and it shines on us all. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We are living in grace. We're living in love. We're living in peace. United.